Hello YouTube and welcome to Banished. This is a new game that came out on about the 19th of Feb. I bought it on day one because I've been waiting for this for a little while, probably a couple of months since I first saw a video on it and thought that it looked really good game. It's a city builder basically with no combat in it, which is a little bit unique. You have different types of terrain, valleys or mountains. You can have small, medium and large. We'll leave it on medium. We have mild terrain, a mild climate, which we're going to leave it on. We're going to have our disasters off, and we're going to have starting conditions of easy, and that means we'll have 6 families, a large amount of food and clothing to start with, because I want to give you an overview of what the game's about, not necessarily how to play it. Just to let you know, on hard you start with 4 families and a very small amount of food and firewood. Firewood basically is life in this sort of terrain. The other thing about it that I like is the map seeds. You can actually write down, or you can check it anytime actually, what the map seed is, and you can play the same place over and over. So if you find a map seed that works well, that's got the things in it that you want, but you just can't quite survive, you can give it a go number of times. So we'll jump straight in. One of the things that I do love about this game is the graphics. He's really done a wonderful job on the graphics for a one-man band. He's done all of the music, all of the graphics, all of the actual coding and everything. I believe it's taken him about 3 years to actually do. We'll just pause it here so I can go through a few things with you. Bottom right hand corner is your menu for all of the different operations. So I'm going to start by putting up some of these information tabs and sorting them into some positions that I like. They're basically the 3 things that I find really helpful to have up and running all the time. Start up here. This gives you the overview of the settlement as it is. So you can see here we've got 12 adults and we have 10 children. It's currently 2 degrees, that's in Celsius. You can change that to Fahrenheit if that's your preference. Where we are in the seasons and what our year is. So this is year 1, early spring. The amount of stored logs that we have, and that's these in our stockpile here. We have stone, we have iron, we have firewood, and as I said before, firewood's really important. No coal at this stage because you've got to be probably a fair way through to actually start mining that. Stored tools, another really important thing. If people haven't got tools, then they work at a very slow pace. We have 2,400 food, no medicines at the moment, and we have 40 stored clothing. Clothing again very important for the survival. As you can see here, we have ragged clothing on this particular lady. She's educated, she's a labourer, has no tool and has ragged clothing. And my guess is they'll all head over. If I take this off pause, they'll all head over to the storage area. They will get food to put in their houses. So these are the houses through here. And this is our storage area. So you can see them taking all of that back to their place of residence. And excuse me, she's now got an iron tool, so she grabbed that when she was over there. Maybe she'll update her clothes this time. Yep, so she's put on some warmer clothing that we had. So you can see the clothing going down here. Okay, let's pause it again because we want to have a look around and see where we are. So, looks like we're on a relatively good piece of flat ground. There's a river there. The river is the key. It's what the traders come through. So we need to work out some way later on of getting our settlement to grow down towards this river, because we need to actually place our trading place on the river so that the traders, when they come along by boat, will stop in and sell us goods and also buy our goods. So firstly, what I think we need to get going is the removal of and the gathering up of resources from around the area. So I'm going to take a pretty big chunk and clear that out. Now I'm also going to cancel the removal of the stuff over here because we can't get to it anyway. Yeah, no, I lost one in there, but that's okay, we'll get that. Alright. Over on this, our professions tab, you can see we have 12 labourers, and then you have all of the other professions that we can have in the game. You'll start off basically down this side and then progress through to some of the others, these ones in sort of later times in the game. The builders obviously do the building, so what we're going to do first off, because food is so important to us, we're going to select the food production tab, go to a crop field, and we are going to put that right in the centre of town so that nobody has to go too far to get their food to start with. We're going to select, we'll have some cabbages. I like our cabbage. And now we have this little symbol up which says nobody has been told to work these fields. So if we come over to our professions, we can see here that we have 2 that we need. So we can assign 2 people from our team of labourers to work that field. And we'll get started on that. We can see now people will go out and start to collect all of these things that are marked for cutting up or removal, and they will bring it back to the storage area. Now the storage area is already 69% full, so what we need to do is create a bigger storage area, and what I tend to do is leave a chunk behind between them. How far can we go? Okay, so that's as big as we can go. I'll go there, and what I'm going to do is prioritise, if I use the right one, is prioritise the building of that. Now that'll make sure that the resources around that area are removed first, and then they can get on and actually start stocking it. So you can see they've started over here to remove some of the resources. We've got lots of iron and stone and stuff in here, as well as the trees themselves. So we're going to get a good set of resources available to us. See, 153, 70, 60, just try and remember those. We can have a look later on once we've cleared this area, and you'll see how many we've got. The storage area is getting full quickly. So we will get a bit of a warning about that shortly. I do apologise for my voice. I'm actually getting over the flu at the moment. I had a nice, nice, that's probably not the right word. I had a fairly rough week in that I had sort of 3 days in bed sleeping, basically, and not very pleasant. I now know the difference between a cold and the flu. And obviously all I've ever had in my life prior to this was just colds, even though they may have felt like flu at the time. It wasn't man flu, for those of you who are thinking that that's what it might have been. I do have actually a doctor's certificate to prove it was flu. We're also going to put some roads in along here. I won't go that far. And that will speed up people's ability to move around the area. I might take that one out a bit further there. Now, one of the interesting things I have noted with this is When you don't have any builders, the roads take a lot longer to get done because the labourers will prioritise that down. So what I'm going to do is put a couple of builders on the go just to get those roads done, because it's important to get them up and running as quick as we can so that people move around a lot faster. Normally when you select something to be built, it would say, you know, you need X number of builders or whatever. But when you place roads, it doesn't seem to recognise that as requiring a builder. So I'm still trying to sort through what the situation is with that, as far as whether or not they actually have to be builders or whether labourers will do it themselves. One of the really beautiful things about this game is the graphics, and I often find myself just sitting here watching what's happening, you know, slowing it right down, just watching the people go about their work, and just being in awe of the guys' programming abilities. There's a few sort of little quirks and stuff with the AI as yet, but basically all in all it works incredibly effectively. Within each of these wooden houses you'll have a family living there. You have their inventory, which at this stage will only be firewood and food. You need to make sure that that is kept up, obviously, in both instances. So now that we've got some wood or logs and our area is starting to get cleaned out a bit, right where I was going to put our wood places, got those in it. We'll give this a go anyway. So resource production, we need a wood cutter. Now by pressing R you can rotate these around to fit sometimes. So we'll put him right close to the storage area, and that way he will be able to just walk across the road, grab the logs, bring them back, cut them up and take the firewood back across. So nice and productive. We see we need 24 logs, 8 stone and 45 build units to build this, and there's obviously 3 trees in the way that need to be removed beforehand. Again, apologies for the coughs. And also you'll hear me taking lots of sips in order to keep my throat from drying out too much. Because this is actually the second time I've recorded this. The first time I realised that I used the word about 60,000 times, and don't think that's very good at all. So I will try to improve on that this time and, you know, at least cut it down to 30,000 or something. The other thing you can see roaming around here is these chickens. Chickens are good, they will give you both chicken and eggs. So we will build an area for them very shortly. Once we get this bit more cleaned out, we can find out where some good space is for the chicken pen to go. I'm thinking maybe in here somewhere might be good. Just depends on how slopey that land is. So if we go to the food production one, you'll see here that we have pasture. So what I can do is I can actually check out. So I can't go that way. I can go that way. I can go that way. Okay, so I could start there and do that, but it's too small an area, so that's not going to work. And that's too small an area, so I'm not going to be able to put that in there, unfortunately. Just a right click undoes what you've been testing. We're not even going to be able to put it over there. Put it there, maybe. Can we do? Yeah, there we go. It's not going to be very big though. We want to leave path for that road to come through. We could take it down there. 20 by 20 is as large as your pastures can go, and I think from memory they'll hold about 18 cattle. I don't think I've ever had a 25 by 25 for 20 by 20 rather for the chicken, so I don't know how many they hold. But we might just do something like that, I think. Alright, so what we'll do is prioritise by going to Tools and Reports, this little up arrow, and we'll say we want that to be your first priority. And it's also telling us that we need more builders, so I can up the number of builders there, and that'll help get things going a bit better. You see little things like these, what are they, mushrooms, but look at it. Gathered them up because they are a food, so make sure you get those sorts of things as well. You can see them there under there. We've got those, they're tagged. There's some onions there, some more herbal type things there. So yeah, we won't worry about running any more roads just for the moment. I might increase this one a little bit to the end, and we'll put something along here in a second, or down here, probably more likely. So it's not a bad spot. There's a fair bit of open space out this way. Got mountains up there, obviously, or hills anyway. And our food is getting low, but that's okay. We've got we've got food in here ready to go, so that should get us through for this winter anyway. And then by next winter, hopefully, we'll have this up and running, which is looking relatively good. We have 13 adults now, and we've had 4 children be born, and one of our children has grown up and become a labourer already. They will automatically go into the labourer pool when they turn into adults. Now the subject of adults may be somewhat interesting because, as you can see, if I can find somebody, there we go, 16 years old, and she's our builder. So that's a rather interesting one. So we're going to select chickens, and we currently have 8 out of 14 chickens that will fit in there, so that's good. It means we've used all the chickens that we had with us, but it also means we've got a bit of room to expand. Now, both the woodcutter and the herdsman need people assigned to them in order to actually work. So the chickens very obligingly make their way into the pen themselves, which I think is just wonderful. You know, all chickens should be like that, instead of having to chase them around all over the place. Here comes our herdsman. Just some information about her. She's relatively healthy, she's very happy, she's educated, she's wearing fair clothing, iron tool, and is aged 16, so but not carrying anything. So there you go. Our food is nearly at full, ready for harvest. I can manually harvest it if I want to, or I can turn it off if I want to and say no, don't plant that field this year because I've got enough food. But I must admit, I've never been in a situation where I've had that much food. I tend to run out of people before I run out of food, as in people to do work. So let's put our other roads in that we were thinking about. I think I want to run one along there, and I want to run one out there. The AI is pretty good as far as finding the roads. We can bring our builders down a bit, just leave a couple of those there. They will automatically go on to labouring duties if there isn't build work for them to do. The AI is quite good like that. I have a few issues with the way that it appears to work, and I do stress appears to work. For example, my my woodcutter. If I actually follow him, there are times when he stops being the woodcutter and somebody else just takes over, and it's rather interesting in how he's designed the AI to handle, you know, if he goes off to put food in his house or whatever, somebody else just takes over, and so it is rather interesting. But I'm not 100% sure that what is occurring on the screen is necessarily matched to what the AI is actually doing. But as I said, minor criticism, and not really a criticism, probably just my lack of understanding. Alright, we are now getting along relatively well. We have a nice bit of cleared space. So probably the first thing we need to do is to actually build ourselves another home. Some of our kids are starting to grow up, and they will want a place to live very, very shortly, if not already. Now, by pressing R, I can rotate the house. But the other thing I want to show you about the houses is the different types. By pressing F, this is all by default. If you've adjusted these, then that's fine. Press F, I can get different house styles. So he's put in, you know, a number of different types of houses for you to choose from, which I thought was rather good. You didn't have to have, you know, like I've got there. I've got the same two houses side by side. I can say, no, I don't want that. Let's have that style. And we'll right click that. All of this stuff should automatically get put in the stockpile if it's not used up in the actual building process. He's got 3 things to remove, so it's classifying those items that are stored there as things that need to be moved out of the way. Our woodcutter's going along well. He has a fuel limit of 200, which means he's only going to produce 200 firewood. Well, that's not going to be enough for us, so I'm going to put that up to 500 straight away, and he will keep cutting away there. So our chickens are doing okay. These will be bred up to the maximum of 14, and then they'll start slaughtering them. And the eggs are already going in here. We've got 6 eggs so far, so we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. I don't think we're going to be able to fish this river. This fishing is one of the main sources of income, of food rather. So let's just see if we can put a dock here somewhere. Doesn't appear that it's going to be big enough. No. Keep getting the little red squares. So that's only one, but... oh, will that work? Yes, it will. Excellent. Well, that's something I didn't know, so that's always interesting to learn new things. So we'll put a road down to there, and bring that across to there. So all of the logs have been brought over. We're just waiting for some stone, and then our builders will get onto it. We might give ourselves a couple more builders in the process, just to speed it up a bit. We're down to 210 food, even though we've just harvested, so we could be in trouble. We could be in trouble. We can get our 4 fishermen going maybe, and that will help, but I'm also going to put a road through here, and that will make life a bit quicker for them to go from the fishing to the storage area. One thing I can't stress enough about this game is just take your time. Don't be in too big a hurry to expand, because it's about balancing and micromanaging. If you go too far ahead with one particular thing, you will find that you cause yourselves problems with another area of the game. So one thing we need to get into production as soon as we possibly can is... Let me find the right one. A Forester's Lodge. There we go. Is the Forester's Lodge. Now this is going to be our main source of wood. So we need to actually sort of try and put this in a nice area, and this is a rip of an area, I must admit. Can I line that up well enough? Or are they going to miss by one again? Let's give that a go. We'll put that there. Okay, now our fishermen are ready. So we've got 4 fishermen to go and get to work on those fishing things. We'll go down and have a look at them in a sec. I'll also put a road in. I don't want to lose sight of that because I want to make sure I go straight out. Let's go to there. Another minor criticism is Q to rotate around and E to rotate back the other way. I can't really easily tell where the footprint is here. It looks like that's it there. No, that's the building. So there. Huh. For once Tosh has managed to line it up properly. Cool. And that'll just make life a lot easier to bring it in and out from there. Let's go and have a look at our fisher people. So they're catching and there you go, fishing. So that's good. I didn't know that we could fish in those small creeks, although it's a fairly large creek, I grant you. But so that's good. We've got 4 fishermen or 4 fisher people that'll be working there, and that's a good source of food. Now another good source of food is these little guys, the deers. We'll set up something relatively shortly after winter probably to get them going. I can hear myself umming again. Alright, we're 72% complete on the house there, so that's a good thing. Will mean that we have a family that will be able to move. I may well put a couple of houses down here so that the fisher folk have somewhere to live very close by. But again, as I said before, you need to be careful about how quickly you expand. We need a greater source of food because we have none now, and we're coming into to winter. So we are going to be in trouble with this. We are going to lose some people unless the fishers can help us out a lot. We're nowhere near our maximum chickens, which means they won't be slaughtering many, they'll just be breeding them. So what we can do to help that out is out here in the wilderness we can put a gatherer's hut. And the gatherers will go around and they will just find berries and the like. Where's my road gone? There. So I'll put the gatherer's hut sort of about there, I think. Let me just zoom out. Yeah, that's okay. So I'll put the gatherer's hut there, but I'm just going to pause that. I'll just pop that up there to remind me that that's ready to go. Okay, there's enough space now for the building to go up in, and we just got to get the goods out there. I can drop my builders back down to 2. Food's at 15, which is not good. You can see that the fish are starting to come in, so that's a good thing. We've still got some tools left. We'll need to get onto that fairly shortly and get a blacksmith up and running. Probably put him in here. Then he's close to the iron and everything that he'll need. So one of the things that you can do with this, which is quite helpful, is actually do what I just did before, which is to pre-place, so you can sort of plan things out a bit. So if I go, I want my blacksmith there, and then pause him straight away. Can put that over there, and nothing will happen to that until we take it off pause. So we can sort of keep our low numbers working as efficiently as we can, concentrating on one thing. So I've got a few more labourers now, which is good. Our children have grown up, given us some more people to work out. Food's low, so we're probably not going to have many children, so we won't be replacing those that grow up as yet. Which is, again, a bit of a shame, because we're going to need them in about year 10. A lot of our original settlers will die off of old age, if they make it that far. And that can cause us some problems. Alright, so we're nearly there with the Foresters Lodge. They're going to take 4 people to run that. And what they will do is, within that circle, so that one, they will cut down and replant trees. They'll also gradually get rid of this rock and stuff as well, so that there's better area for them to plant, but we'll probably help them out with that a bit when we have a quiet time during winter. Okay, so they're right to go. You can see here we need 4 foresters, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave 2 builders on the go. And what I'm going to do is go to our resource section, and I'm going to take all of the stone out of this area, and we'll put that in our stockpile over here. And while they're doing that, I will get the blacksmith going, because that's probably the next thing that we need. Do I need... No, actually I won't do that. I'll get the gatherer going, because we need food more than we need anything else. Now, log limit, they're saying we've got 400, so they don't need any more. I'm going to put that up to 1,000, because logs is something that you can never have enough of. As logs get turned into firewood, firewood gets burned in the homes and keeps people alive, so it's also your main building material. And to start off with, we're going to be doing a lot of building, so we'll use a lot more logs than you will in a later stage of the game. You tend to sort of start with wooden houses and stuff, and then move over to stone houses later on. And the stone houses obviously are a bit warmer and provide better shelter for the people, which means they're using less firewood and that sort of stuff. So, alright, that's all happening. That's happening. We'll get to these little guys in a minute. Our fishies are working well. We're just keeping our head above water, so to speak. Pardon the pun on the fish. We'll get another builder going. Everything else is okay. Try and keep your amount of people allocated to a profession matching what it says you need. You can't go over it. I can't put another forester in. It just says, no, I've got no place to work. So that's no point in doing that. By getting rid of these resources from in here, we're leaving more area for them to plant more trees. So this will become far denser in the amount of trees that are in it, and that's a good thing for our lumber production. So we'll speed it up a bit now. We're on 5, we'll go to 10 maybe. 10 I find a bit quick, but 5 I can generally, have the game running at a normal pace. We'll have some more firewood too, please. So it's about micromanaging everything that's going on in your settlement. And believe me, balance is the key. Expand a little bit, stop, steady yourself, build up your food, build up your resources, expand again, build up your food, build up your resources. Because if you go too fast too quick, you will find yourself in all sorts of trouble. So that's how we sort of get established. Now what I'm going to do is jump forward a little bit and load up another game that I have here, which I've been playing for a while. We'll go to that one. Not worried about losing that because that was just for you guys to have a look at. So this is one that I've been playing for 44 years, and as you can see, it's quite a large city. Well, large village. Wouldn't call it a city yet. Some of the interesting things, this is a quarry where I used to get my stone from. It's been mined out. And this is my mine over here where I'm currently taking iron, but I could be digging coal out of it. So, foresters, gatherers, herbalist over there, some more foresters, farmers up the back here, and some nice flat land. A marketplace, which is an important thing. Now you'll notice I've got two marketplaces here. They only have an area of effect as large as the circle, which I obviously need to come in a bit to show you. So any of the houses within that circle will be serviced by that marketplace. So you need to place them quite strategically and make sure that there's enough food and everything being bought here for the houses. But you also need to be careful when you have outlying sort of little areas like over here, that they too at least get some coverage from a market, otherwise they will starve. I've got 3 woodcutters, and I'm currently using wood at my trading post as one of my major selling items because it's got a value of 4. Iron tools 8. Warm coats, which is the top of the line coats, 20. Now I've only just recently got cattle. I actually had to buy them, but I've now got the cattle farm up and running. I've got the sheep farm running, and I've got my tailors. Well, I can find them. Where's my tailor gone? No, blacksmith. Tailor. Tailor. Oh, there you are. Madly building away warm coats which combine leather and wool and obviously are very, very warm. I've got to close them at a 200 on that, but I'm going to increase that now because the cattle are bringing in more citizens without jobs. As you can see, graveyards or cemeteries do fill up relatively quickly, and some more farming area down here. So you do need a lot of farming area. You can see there I've got 24,000 food, but I've got a population nearly 300. So it's a lot of people to feed and keep comfortable. So there you go, that's Banished. I can't emphasise how good the gameplay is enough. I think he's done a fabulous job. I'll leave a link in the description to Shining Rock Software's website, where you can read up about the project and about the guy who's done it himself. It's out on Steam, it's available, it's only $20 currently. I think that is an absolute bargain for what you get. You know, when you compare it to some of the other, well, alphas that are being released, or pre-alphas that are being released at, you know, $20, $25, $30, where you get very, very little as far as gameplay. This is a complete game. Not saying that he's finished working on it. He has a lot more plans, I think, of things that he wants to do, but it is absolutely 100% playable from start to finish. And as I said, I have found 0 bugs. Some tweaks that may be needed in the AI, but that's about it. So hope you enjoyed that. It's just a little update on my little random indie section. Leave a like, please. Leave a comment if you've got anything to say one way or the other about how I do these, or what you would like to see in them, or even suggestions for games that are out that you think are pretty good that you'd like to have a better look at. Let me know. If I have the time and I have the money, I'll buy them and show you what their playability is like. So again, you know, would appreciate a like, and always interested in reading your comments and feedback for me on how you have or have not enjoyed this video. But you know, don't just say to me, nah, it sucked. Tell me how it sucked. I'm open to criticism, and I'm pretty thick-skinned. So hope you enjoyed Banished, and we will see you next time. Bye.